Let's get straight into it. I'm gonna show you how I got these Tyla inspired braids. I've actually done my hair like this before on my channel. It was probably like 2 years ago, but I did it most recently and people said that they wanted to see what it looked like. It's really just stitch braids and then like a half sew-in. These bundles are from BLY, but in my previous videos where you see my hair like this, I actually purchased some Burmese curl synthetic hair from the beauty supply store, which actually held up pretty well. I would say my hair lasted for maybe like a week or two before it started giving that like kind of like matted synthetic look. I did end up taking it out because I love these bundles. I would definitely purchase them again. They're from Amazon, but I would definitely make sure I get them longer because it's just a little short for my liking. In order to do the braid down, I did use the braid gel on this specific time, and I feel like you can tell that my braids are just overall neater than the last time that I did the hairstyle. And the last time I did the hairstyle, I used the braid gel is called Neat Braid. We have different hair textures, hair situations, so you might like Neat Braid more than I like the braid gel. I would say get both to see which one you like more. It is easier to braid with gel. If you have like some type of like scalp issue, then you're not going to want to do that. Just be more careful. I have nails on right now, but when I do my braids, I make sure I never have nails. So if you want to see how we get to these braids, just keep on watching. So my hair was not perfectly clean. I was wearing a wig for about a week and I had straight back cornrows. I don't think your hair needs to be perfectly clean for this hairstyle because it is kind of like an in-between type of thing. So what I'm rubbing in my hair is going to be the Fantasia Heat Serum. I'm going to blow it out just so that it's more straight for the braids. I think it's best to start out on blown out hair for stitch braids, especially because you want it to look neat and together. And I'm also going to use the Fantasia Heat Protectant. We use a lot of heat protectant over here. No heat damage. I'm not dealing with that. I got my handy dandy blow dryer brush, and I always use this on the low setting. And I'm just going to go ahead and brush through it. This only took a couple of minutes because my hair is basically blew out already. Just had the braids in. And you see the smoke, that's just the heat with the heat protectant. That just means that it's working. I'm not burning my hair. Nothing to be concerned about. I just did a few passes and then we're going to go ahead and move on to parting. I really can't explain the geometry behind why I'm parting like this, but I just know that I want them to be kind of like on an angle. Like I didn't want to start with the middle part, and I can't start from like my ear side because then it won't be even. And I'm using a rat tail comb, of course, making sure that everything looks perfect. And I have my alligator clips. I love these clips, especially for my natural hair. I feel like the metal clips are more so for like straight hair, like the duck clips, if you know what I mean. And I think I'm just moving this hair out of my way, so I'm going to twist it. And I'm going to pre-part my whole head before I start any of the braids. So a few years ago, I took a braiding class with my braider while she was like building her brand or whatever. And she told me that the biggest difference between people braiding their hair at home versus going to a professional is just really like the effort. So you see how I'm going back to repart this section like 5 or 6 times. That is important in it looking polished because this hair, I wanted it to last maybe like two, maybe 3 weeks. So just putting the effort in this moment is not like too much for me. But if you don't have the patience, then just don't do your hair yourself. I'm making sure this part is straight, and it's clearly not. Also, a little tip, I don't think I did this today, but what you can do is try to part the hair. Oh, I am doing it. Okay, so I'm gonna part the hair and then use gel to kind of gel down the hair, and then I'm gonna go in and try to get those hairs that are being stubborn in the back, well, towards the middle of my head. And then you comb down the gel so that you can see like more clearly. And in this case, there will be less like flyaways or just like little random pieces that shouldn't be where they're not supposed to be, you know? I don't think I mentioned this, but I am using the braid gel. That's what it's called. I mentioned this in my beauty favorites video that I just posted, and it's really good. I find that I like this the most out of all the gels to braid with at home. The smell, it doesn't really smell like much of anything to me, and it has a good hold like on my hair, and it doesn't turn white or crispy or anything like that. So I like this braid gel. I am gonna go ahead and twist that just so I can move out of my way. And after that, I'm really just going to repeat the same steps on the other parts. So part with the comb, go in with the gel, part again with the comb, and then twist it and move it out of my way so I can make sure my hair is like evenly separated and I don't have like one big dookie braid versus a bunch of like little ones.
I'ma take a bougie ass to Rodale and then let her pick up whatever she want. CC Gucci Hippo take up whatever she want. She pissed me off somehow she still get whatever she want. Talking about a nails, I'm finna nail her ass at home. Hit it in the shower, made her tell me what she want. Like I'm singing mix, I made her tell me what she want. Wow. She on a pie trip again. I know pussy pie got me buying shit again. Friends ain't jacking me, you must be lying to your friends. They know I'm a beast, I'll wait the giants up again. Shining once again. Ran it up, I told her mama slide in my DMs. Now I'm right back in. Locked in. Shawty got that dress on, so the block is hot again. Think so when I hit it, sound like fucking ad-lib. Got her ass again. Then she got it tripping off another yet again. Got a nigga feeling like a sucker yet again. Close on my emotion, then I rush and let her in. Hurry up and let her in. I'ma take a bougie ass to Rodale and then let her pick up whatever she want. CC Gucci Hippo take up whatever she want. She pissed me off somehow she still get whatever she want. Talking about a nails, I'm finna nail her ass at home. Hit it in the shower, made her tell me what she want. Like I'm singing mix, I made her tell me what she want. I'm already knowing. She spoiled as a motherfucker. Whatever. Spoil her ass again. Take her to the dealership, the Porsche got a twin, Paddock got a band, hold it to the lens, put the ice I bought you on and show it to your friends. Shop it till we lean, but let's make it even. She don't hold it down, then she spicy like tahini. Yeah, spicy like tahini. They look bad, don't make no sense. I'm finna pick up bougie ass to Rodale and then let her pick up whatever she want. CC Gucci Hippo take up whatever she want. She pissed me off somehow she still get whatever she want. Talking about a nails, I'm finna nail her ass at home. Hit it in the shower, made her tell me what she want. Like I'm singing mix, I made her tell me what she want.
When it comes to, I already did a few braids and I moved them out of my way. I am using the gel on the front pieces of my hair so that it can look neat and just so that I don't miss any like of the little hairs that I be having at the front of my head. I'm also putting gel in that braid on the side just so that it's out of my way. And I'm like lining the braid up so that when I'm pulling, it looks snatched almost. So I start with this little piece of hair. I'm gonna pull my comb out and I pull out, that's gonna be broken up into two pieces. And then I pull the third piece, and I can show you how to cornrow in a different way, but you really just have to practice with your fingers. It's really like 1, 2, and 3, and at all times one hand has 2 pieces of hair in it and the other hand has 1, and then you're just basically like passing it back and forth. And I know that instruction sounds strange, but you really just have to practice. And when I get to like the middle part of my head is really thick, so that will never be stitchiana unless a professional does it for me. But I'm trying my best, which is also why I use the gel. I'm gonna braid the end tail and then move on to the next one. doing my hair myself for years has taught me like so much about my hair, and I know that this side is just kind of like weaker than the rest of my head. Like you can see it's kind of, I don't want to say thinning around my edges, but yeah. So these braids always look neater, but it's low-key not good that they do. I'm going in with the gel and on the side too, and then I'm gonna comb the gel down.
You just may think he's God, but that doesn't mean he's immortal.
We're still some way apart on the fee.
Moving that little piece because that don't go right there.
We're not terrorists.
And sometimes I used to comb to pull out the front little piece, but because this side is not as dense as like the middle or the other side of my hair, I don't really have to. And I'm just braiding gently. Like I said, one hand always has two pieces, the other hand pulls the third, and you just pass it back and forth. So I ended up not liking that like little front piece right there. It looks off, and I just restarted the braid. And don't be scared to do that, because I've been in a professional chair and they restarted. So if it's not looking too good, you don't want to be walking around like, oh, I hate this, you know? Also, I do like watching hair videos to their completion, so I am going to leave the rest of the footage in here. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. The back of my head is just a sew-in. It's a basic sew-in. I can show you how to do it, but I'm not the best at them, so yeah. But like I said, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Do you like them just funny?